Welcome back. Now that we've created a blog as a step, now let's look into how to create a step that has an assessment. Let's imagine after this article you want your student to be able to take a particular exercise. All you need to do is to add a step that has to do with exercise. In order for you to do that, you need to go back into your back end and add a step. You already know how to add a step by clicking on this button. So if you want to add another module, that is when you click on this. So I want to add a step under this particular module, so I need to use this button here. I'm going to call this step the exercise step. Now if I'm to check it, this is going to create a step called exercise. Now if I click on exercise and I choose the assessment, which is what I want my step to be based on, now you can create an assessment, exercise. Now I want to create an exercise on my course so far. I want to be able to ask my students, what is an IDLE? Now the description is going to be based on what my question is all about. I want students to be able to define the full meaning, like that's just what's going to be here. I don't want the video to be too long. Now the duration that I want my students to spend totally on this assessment is 20 minutes. You can choose for it to be 5 minutes, depends on you. If the assessment is going to be really something complicated, you also want to be reasonable with your time. Maybe you want to set 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Now the expected points for this assessment is 20 points. I want you to score 20 points in 5 minutes. That's if you can answer this question. Now that I've created the description and also the title of my assessment, now I can create the assessment. Now I can start adding questions. Now let's imagine I want to set my first question. My first question is going to be based on what is VS Code used for. Now I can set the points to be 5 points based on how complicated the question is and how much I want my student to score in this particular question. And then so I can say is used to write code, and also I can set another option that it is used to design. In this case right now, I know that is used to design is the wrong answer, so I can choose this one to be the right answer because I already know at the back and that this is the right answer. I need to choose that. All right, so if I want to add a new question, I can do that by this button. What this button is meant for is for you to add options as many as you want. So I just need to update this. So this is asking me to actually fill the third option because I already click on the add option button. So I can just say is used to illustrate. So my students already know that, okay, the correct answer is used to write code. I think I already have, yeah, is used to write code, is used to design, is used to illustrate. So I know the correct answer is used to write code. So now I can update my assessment. Now if we go into the front end and try to check how our steps are doing, so I can refresh this now, and then you can see that the third step is now based on exercise. So if I click on this exercise now, I'm going to see the instruction that I have given them from the back end. I said the test contains one question and there is 5 minutes limit. The assessment has 5 points, which is what I set there. The total score will be displayed at the end of it. You need a minimum of 20 points to achieve this test, which is what I said at the back end. So if the user should start this now, it's going to display my question, what is VS Code used for? Now if my students, I know that my students are brilliant, so if they choose the correct answer, so if they click on next, it's going to say they want, because this is just only one question. So if there are other questions, if they click on next, it's going to take them to the second question. So I want to see the result. Now I can see that I got the answer, right? I got 1 out of 1 and I've gained the 5 points in just one attempt. Now, you as a creator, you might be wondering, how will I see the students? How will I see people that already take my course? Now let's take ourselves back to the front end, which is our library, the overview. Let's see how many students are taking our course, and also how many people are taking our assessment. Now if I go into the front end now, which is the library page, if I go to the library page now, I can see this is the course I've created so far. Now if you go into assessments, you're going to see that I've created about 5 assessments so far. But as you can see, I have what is an IDLE as the last one that I just created 5 minutes ago. So I can see the details of the students here. I can see how many questions I've set. I can see how many students that have taken it, and also I can see how many points they've get. So if I try to click on edit here, I will see that this is where I can still add more questions if I want. Maybe later in the future I want to add more questions to my assessment. I can do that by clicking on the edit button. Now if I am to go back now, I can see other assessment, and also I can add a new assessment from here. Alright, so the bottom line is that I can see what is going on with assessment right from this point. So if I click on this now, I can see how many students are taking this, how many people got it correctly. If I am too harsh with my questions, definitely I'm going to know that, okay, so many people are failing these questions. What is wrong? Do I have to change it? Do I have to change the options and all of those things? So if you click on the title, you should be able to see how students are doing with each and every question. Yeah, so that is that on assessment. In the next video, I'm going to show you guys how you can create your own track in the sense that if you have a particular course whereby you want somebody to build a full career with your course, maybe you want them to become a data analyst, or you want them to become a front-end engineer, there's going to be courses after course. You want them to take HTML course first, then take CSS course, then take JavaScript course. So that's what tracks is for. You want to keep track of how they are doing. You want them to finish one before they go into another one. So that's what track is for. On the next video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can go about this. See you in the next one.